Hello, I'm Dan, the editor of Wargames Illustrated magazine, and I'd like to take you on a tour of this, the latest issue, which is Wi428, the August 2023 issue of the magazine. So, without further ado, let's take a look inside.
Our theme for this issue is Revisited, in which we asked several of our regular contributors to revisit articles they had written for Wargames Illustrated in the past. As the magazine came together, the theme also evolved to include articles with a more general retro angle. We begin our tour though in our regular observation post slot, in which we take a look at new and forthcoming hobby products. And there's more new stuff in Release Radar. Dom saws 4 pages looking at less obvious new releases. Quickfire features a couple of easy reads from your fellow gamers. Before we get into the first of our theme articles, Loose Files and American Scramble, games designer Andy Callan revisits a set of American Revolution rules he first penned for Wargames Illustrated issue 1. He uses the power of 36 years of hindsight to reflect on the rules by adding the author's afterthoughts and reflections on what is still a great set of quick play rules. Hobby luminary Rick Priestley begins 10 pages of discussing retro hobby projects. Rick has been collecting and repairing hundreds of early 1970s figures by Minifigs and other manufacturers. Here he takes us on a tour of his collection. Rick's piece is followed by other contributors telling us about their reflections on and praises for retro miniatures and publications. Bigging it up by shrinking it down revisits a project that first appeared in the July 2018 issue of the magazine and sees Pete Brown and Jerry Richardson complete a venture for which they gathered together everything required to refight the Battle of Orgrim 1688 in 10mm. Fashoda's Showdown takes us into the heart of colonial Africa and presents the background and a death in the dark continent for this little known clash involving British, Egyptians, French and dervishes. As part of our revisited theme, we also catch up with Alan and Michael Perry to chat about their early historical figures and assess the progress they have made since their early days at Citadel and Wargames Foundry. It's time for a spot of modelling now, with our man Matt Parks turning his talents to creating acacia trees for the African savannah. Matt shares a couple of different construction techniques. Barry Hilton takes us back to the future by revisiting his article from the July 1999 issue of Wargames Illustrated, in which he addressed the problem of lack of cavalry on the Wargames table. 24 years later, he also includes a guide to how he paints his cavalry. Lion Rampant author Dan Mersey goes in search of 1970s Wargames hero Thane Tostig in this next article. He tells us how he pieced together miniatures and rules to bring this retro game back to life. Our last article this month is by Aussie wargamer Mark Piper, in which he revisits the early New Zealand wars and offers musket and tomahawk scenarios for this fascinating conflict. The latest issue of Wargames Illustrated magazine is on sale in WH Smith and selected supermarkets across the UK from the 1st of every month. Hobby stores around the globe also stock WI, and you can buy the latest issue, plus back copies and bargain price subscriptions from wargamesillustrated.net. This video has been brought to you by WiPrime, Wargames Illustrated magazine's online members club. View more videos or find out more about WiPrime by following these links.